We're live.
Okay, we're live on yours.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, we're live here. Yay!
There we are.
Welcome.
Here.
Welcome to It's So Tempting Facebook and YouTube Live tonight. I'm Dennise.
I'm Darla.
I'm Pat.
Welcome.
Hopefully my mic is picking up over there.
Okay. We got lots going on tonight, so we'll get started with some announcements. We have the North Iowa Quilters Market coming up in November, Friday, November 7th, Saturday, November 8th, from 10 to 5 on Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday. 13 different vendors. I'm not going to read through them tonight. We went through them last week. We'll go over again. We got other stuff we need to cover tonight. One more thing, the Des Moines Area Quilters Guild has their show tomorrow. Well, it's today, tomorrow, and Saturday from 9 to 5 at the 4-H building at the Des Moines Fairgrounds. I went last year. It was a really neat experience. Lots of cool quilts. Lots of shops had some stuff there. So if you don't have anything going on, go check it out. That's all I got for announcements.
Okay. Well, do we have any upcoming classes?
We have a walking foot
Yes,
class coming up in October. I don't have the dates for that. Give me a second.
And I should know I'm teaching it, but when it pops up on my calendar, oh, I'm teaching. But it is walking foot 1. It's a beginning walking foot class.
So we have one session on Tuesday, October 7th at 12:30, and another one on Saturday, the 11th, also at 12:30. And then the following week, we have a machine applique class on Wednesday, the 15th, from 11 to 1.
So come in, if you learn how to use the walking foot as to quilt, you don't have a long arm, you want to do it at home on your own machine, your domestic machine, that works. And then the machine applique is learning how to do applique using your sewing machine.
And we do need a couple more people to sign up for that one so we can get that class filled.
Yep.
Should be a fun class. I've taken one from somebody else a long time ago, but I could use more learning.
Yeah, it's
all
good. It always is good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then classes that are not on the schedule yet, but will be hopefully next week. We've got a couple, the shimmering tree. So these are English paper piecing. There we go.
And that'll be, 2.5 hour technique class. There'll be the kit, which includes the pieces of paper, your fabric, and the other items you need will be listed once we get it on there.
And then the other one is the Moravian Stars. It's also an English paper piecing. And it is a 3-dimensional. So normally you take the papers out when you English paper piece. But this one they stay in to give it some stability and stay it formed in the star shape.
It's really cool looking.
Pat's got it started. So.
I've got mine started. That's going to be 2 sessions. You should attend both, probably 2.5 hours each, and then they'll be a week apart, and you will have homework. It's not difficult to do, but you have 5 sections for each star, and there's a lot of stars, and you have to put those together. So there's quite a bit to do. So about 2.5 hours, a week apart, plus your homework in between. And that'll be probably the last 2 Tuesdays in October. The shimmering trees will be a little bit earlier than that. Trying to get this stuff in before Christmas because I am not teaching November, December, and January. So we got to get this Christmas stuff done.
Okay. We had a class today.
Yes, we did.
It was the Stella translucent star. Now the pattern in the original used how many different colors?
24.
24
24,
different.
yeah.
Plus the whites and the grays.
Mm-hmm.
This one we just used. Is it 6 different?
There's 8, isn't there?
Yeah, 8 colors.
8 colors.
8 colors.
And 3 shades of gray and your white.
And we're using the ombre fabric. So this fabric, this is all of this, that is one fabric. This is one fabric. So it's real, it's, you know, the class was really good because it really help the students learn how to use that ombre fabric and make this beautiful stellar star.
And you guys did a great job. No, really. And I hope we can find more uses for that ombre fabric.
Yes.
It is really amazing.
And I don't know whether you can see, I'll kind of hold it.
Make sure it's
Okay. This was machine quilted on a domestic machine at 1/4 inch width. So if you take the walking foot class, you can learn to do this on your home machine. So you don't need a long arm or to send it out to the quilters. So that's one of the good reasons to take that walking foot class if you haven't already.
And you don't have to do it at 1/4 inch.
Nope.
I started an inch apart and thought, I don't like that. Then I divided it to 1/2 inch. And I go, oh, why not do it again? But you could stop at any point.
I normally do stuff on my long arm, but this one I may, since it's a small wall hanging, I may give it a shot because I've taken the walking foot class.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how I do mine.
So it's really cool.
So-
Love that ombre fabric.
You guys make sure you speak loud so that the YouTube picks you up. too.
Okay. Hey, I'm a Jersey girl. How loud would you like?
Okay, I'm behind the camera now, but for those of you that missed last week's Facebook, we discovered that when we put it up, it went on to Darla's my Facebook page. So if you want to see it, you have to go to my Facebook page to see it. I haven't figured out how to get it transferred over.
Okay.
I tried.
It's a learning curve and we're
Mhm.
still figuring stuff out
That's why we really want you to consider going to YouTube.
because we figured that one out and it so far hasn't given us any issues. So
Do you?
And YouTube will be permanent, we hope. We were told Facebook would be permanent way back when, but it isn't.
Yeah.
So going on YouTube, if you don't catch it live, you can catch it 3 months from now.
A year from now.
yeah.
Oh,
Years
we
from-
want you here sooner than
We do, but I'm just saying.
Mhm. And Facebook will pull it.
Yep.
So
So we got some fabric in that we thought would go with the Moravian star, that I think is beautiful.
You know, we picked out several reds and greens and we had a white with some speckles in it and a gold. And once Pat got it going, we decided they really didn't go well. So today we chose 2 new fabrics, another red and another green, and I call them sister fabrics, they're the same line, just
Mhm.
different colors. So,
and it's pretty.
yeah,
Probably can't see it as well online.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
no,
it
you
is,
can't.
It is gorgeous.
but it's got silver, sparkly looking swirls in it. The green might be a little better.
The
looking.
green should be much better.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
definitely.
yes.
The red is the same, just red.
It's the same but different.
Yeah. So yeah, we've chosen those 2 to go with it. And there's plenty of yardage here. So if you've got a Christmas project you want to work on, these are some great options.
Oh yeah.
Or even just a fall project. Reds and greens.
Mm-hmm.
So that's those 2.
And the Moravian Star sample I should have for next Thursday. Shimmering trees probably too. I've already started the shimmering trees. I'm really getting into this English paper piecing. So we'll have more classes on that kind of thing. I enjoy it. You could sit down anywhere and do it. Minimal amount of tools. You probably have everything at home other than your papers and your pattern, but thread, needles, that kind of stuff you probably already have.
And a lot of that stuff can be scrappy. I mean, maybe not our trees, but other English paper piecing, use up some of your scraps that you've got in your stash that you're saving for who knows what.
We have a sample of grandmother's flower garden. I raided the scrap box here at the shop under the cutting table.
Do you know where that one is?
It should be hanging up.
It's hanging up. Oh, yeah. Sorry, we're a little scattered today.
And I haven't been on in ages.
There we go.
And we have the papers for that. It's mounted on black, so it gives it some stability. But we have the papers to do that. Those are 1.5 hexes, and they're pretty cool. And that's just scraps out of the bin. And there'll be more.
That is cool.
So there'll be some more samples for English paper piecing. We'll have the pieces for the cardboard, some patterns to tell you where to get them, or class. I'm always willing to teach whatever. So if you need a class, a basic one, a little more advanced, let us know. You can reach me at pat@itsotempting.com. Small letters, no capital. I do check that email address several times a day. So if you have classes you want to be in, well, that's just the way I am. And it's right there in my studio. And I never leave my studio. So, but I do check it. So if you have classes you want, let me know. But October, the end of October, that's it till February. Got to do my own projects. And in February, ask me about Joan of Arc. That's one of the projects I really hope to get rolling on. That's foundation paper pieced. So you can ask me about that. But English paper piecing, I really love. And it is so portable. Good grief. Love it. Anything else we've got before we talk about our quilt along?
I don't think so.
I think that's it. We're ready for the big.
Hey, I got to get myself together here.
So give us a moment.
Or as they used to say, Miranda, bear with. Bear
So
with.
we need to tip this down. So
And I need all of the good stuff here. And I am loving this quilt. Absolutely. I'm already working on row 3. I'm so excited about it. So I hope if you haven't got your kit, we still have them. So get them. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I have all kinds of notes here. First thing, I suggest you spray your fabric. I don't care if you use Ellen's Best Press. I use the Magic Quilting and whatever it's called. I can never remember the name, but it's Magic something something.
Premium Quilting and Crafting Spray, Magic brand. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I use that. I buy it by the gallon. And so spray your fabric with your favorite, let it dry, and then press it. It'll give it some body, and it'll help when you go to cut it. So that's what I recommend, first of all. Now, before we actually get to row 1, there's some fabric that you need to set aside. The large scale print. This guy right here. Save that. That's your outer border. So don't be cutting into that. You'll need that one. You'll need 4 greens for your trees. And it doesn't matter, 4 fat quarters of your greens. Pull those aside. Don't cut into them yet. You can. Next week, I'll tell you how you can. But for now, 4 fat quarters for your trees. I went dark to light. Do whatever you want, but set those aside. And the next one are poinsettias. You'll have a half a yard of this. I got to get so everybody can see it everywhere.
And then
Up
for them. Yeah.
Up for them, down for them, over this way. All right, that print, and you'll measure it. There is a half a yard. So if you see a half a yard of a red print, set that aside for your poinsettia. And a third of a yard of this stripe, that's also for your poinsettia. Set that aside. All right, what else have we got? There's 2 fat quarters that are white or white-ish. Take one of them for your cuff on your stockings. Set that aside. We also have a green. There's 3/4 of a yard. You can tell I've been working. I haven't got 3/4 of a yard. That green right there, and it'll measure at 3/4 of a yard. I'm trying to look at that way and that way.
I'll let you know.
All right. So if you got 3/4 of a yard of a green, set it aside. That'll be for your holly leaves, your poinsettia leaves, maybe a ribbon. I haven't gotten that far yet, but set 3/4 of a yard of your green aside. All right. That's all you have to do as far as setting aside your fabric. So now we can get down to business. And as I've done in the past, I'll tell you how you can cut your background strips. And you choose your own background. That's up to you. And so for our first row, our ornaments, if you look in your pattern, for letter A, you're going to cut 2 strips at 2.5 inches and label those A. For your B, you need 1 strip at 1.5. For C, you're going to cut 2 strips at 1.5. And for D, you're going to cut 2 strips and you'll have a leftover piece and you'll use that for E. And D is 4.5. I might have said that wrong. So D is 4.5 and 2 strips. So you got 2.5, 2.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 4.5, and 4.5. And label them. All right, so that's how you cut your background fabric. Now to actually work on your ornament, we have a sample in the shop, but there are 5 of them. And since I'm doing demos, I have 3 of them here. And you can see they're large prints.
I'm going to.
And this stripe here. The reason I chose large prints is there's no seams here. So it shows the whole of the fabric. And also for further on down, that the ones that do have seams, I wouldn't want to use this and have a seam and then have to try to match it, or somebody's head is missing or whatever. So I just found use it for your ornaments.
Okay.
But there is a way to cut it so that you can use it when we get to the presents row. And I don't mind the big print for the presents because there's ribbon that's wrapping your package, and that'll hide your seams so that if they're a little bit misaligned, no one's ever going to see it. So that's my tip for that. So how would you cut a fat quarter so you can get your ornament and you can get your enough for your presents? So here's a fat quarter. Everyone will have a selvage. It might be this selvage or it might be the other side, but you will have a selvage edge. Leave that alone. Straighten out your top edge and the side not on the selvage edge. So you got nice and straight across the top and down the other side. Here's your selvage. Leave that be. All right. You're going to measure in 9.5 inches from the non-selvage edge, right here, 9.5 inches all the way down. Set that aside. You have 9.5 inches by 18. So your 9.5 inches, and let me just fold it so that we could kind of forget that other piece was ever there. So we have 9.5 inches. What you're going to do from there is to cut across so that you have 8.5 inches. So you have 8.5 inches by 9.5 inches. Now your ornament uses an 8.5 by 8.5 inch square. So you have your 8.5 by 9.5. Take that piece, trim it so that it's 8.5 by 8.5. You have all the rest down here and what you cut off here for your presents or any other piece you want to do. So that's a good way to cut it. Saves you lots of fabric. And I did it 9.5. There's a reason, because I did the presents and they needed that 9.5. So
Good to
remember
know.
that.
Good
Yeah.
to know.
And they make great presents. I should put one together and bring it in next time. All right, so that's how you can cut it. Now, I talked about labeling your strips. I have a little index card box. It says alphabetties on here, which we do have. I love my alphabetties. They're little letters and numbers, little bitty guys, and they're plastic. And I use Wonder Clips like so. And that's how I mark my fabric. I love these. Then when I'm done, thank you, I put them back in here, and in the file box they go for the next time. So all of these patterns always have A, B, C, then they have numbers, all things. Yes, sticky notes do work, but this, you're not throwing papers away or trying to save them for 2 or 3 projects. Love my alphabetties. So think about that next time you're in the shop. So now we're going to make ornaments as soon as I find them. Yeah, here we go. I've got everything here. Oh, another piece of fabric to say about gold. You're going to cut a 2.5-inch strip, set the rest aside. There's an inner border. We might be able to do a few other things, but you're going to need a 2.5-inch strip, and that's for your ornament. And further on, another project. So to do your ornaments, you're going to start with your stitch and flips, or what I like to call flippy corners. We've had these before. Draw a diagonal line, stitch on the line or just ever so slightly towards the outside point. Before you trim anything, fold it over, and it should match the fabric behind it. We're not changing the size of anything. It's just going to replace this fabric. If you're a little over, then you just need to take a smaller seam. You don't have, if you're over, you don't have to rip out that seam. It's in your seam allowance. If it doesn't reach, and I'm exaggerating, you do have to rip out your stitches and re-sew it. So you sew it, check it out, make sure it's going to fit. I always press mine then I go back, I trim 1/4 inch, and then I repress so that I have all my little flippy corners. We've had these so many times, and flippies, you got to get good at. You'll use them a million times over. Just make sure it does fill out that. You don't want to change this like, oh, it's close. No, you want it the same size and have that fill in when you cut your background fabric off. So you do your flippy corners. You sew on. I got everything clipped together so I don't lose them. There's your gold piece, and the measurements are in your pattern, and your background piece. That's the top of your little ornament here. You'll have it like that. And then you put your side pieces on and you're done. It's that simple. So as I showed before, there's 3 of them, and I've got my 2 that are working on here. They're nice and big. They're cute. And like I said, I use the big prints. Simple, simple, simple. Just label, label, label. Label everything. Okay. And special treat, since I said I'm so excited about working on this, and you'll notice things are thrown all over. This is how I work. You should see my studio. Woo! Yeah. This is the stocking row. And I love this. This is the entire stocking row. It's
Awesome.
huge. It's huge and cute. And I'll give you a heads up. You'll see that there is a seam right here which is why I didn't want one of those real big prints. I didn't want half a head. I did use fabric here, and I sort of got close to matching it. It's close enough for me. And I'll show you next week how I did that.
Awesome.
It's a
'cause, yeah,
little bit off. My trees are almost, but not quite, but I'll take it. And I'll show you how to make sure if you do stripes, how you get this going that way and the same way down here, and they're not really crooked, and this guy is fine, and this one's way over here. So again, if you want to be that precise and get all your stripes going the right way, you'll learn that next week.
Awesome.
And you'll notice this stripe is the same as the ornament.
Okay.
And I have my ornament going that direction, my stripe on my stocking going the opposite way on purpose, because my ornament is made of glass. This is made of fabric from my stocking. So I wanted it different.
Talk about names
I will
next week.
next week. I was talking to Darla and Dennise today about these stockings and how fantastic they are. And we'll go into a lot more detail next week. I wanted you to see it. I don't want you to, jump ahead, because there's tricks to learn. And we got some flippies going, and if you're doing stripes or whatever, and you'll notice I have a green here, which, did I use that for my trees? Well, we'll go over and see what happens.
Okay.
But yeah, this is amazing. This has an inner border and an outer border. It's huge, but simple. It's absolutely simple.
Awesome.
So there we go. I am just so excited about this. This is the best quilt along I think we've had.
Cool, because I enjoyed Spooky Lane a year ago. I didn't get it finished a year ago. It got finished a couple weeks ago. It is in our window, and we have one kit left from that.
And your heads are cut off.
Oh, we'll get.
So we can move this back up.
There we go.
There we go.
We're there.
And then I did the Easter one. That one was fun. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. We still have several kits available, so you can go on our website and order it. That way you don't miss out. We can ship it to you if you want. You can come pick it up in the store. We are open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6. So come in and see us.
And I would get the kit. I love this fabric. Love it.
It is really adorable, and it's so cute. This has been a positive. The Spooky Lane, then we did the spring one, and now we're doing Christmas. And the plan is that this one will be done sewn together if you stay with us.
Middle of November, I believe.
Yep.
So
And that'll give you enough time if you do your own quilting, you can probably get it done. If you send it to a long armor, I'm not going to guarantee it.
if you have a long armor, talk to them now. Tell them the size of the quilt and what you're thinking of, and see if you can get a spot so that you can do it Christmas. Don't wait. I'm already thinking I'm going to quilt it myself. I always do. One thought I had is I'm going to do overall design no matter what I do, edge to edge. I'm not going to custom quilt it. One idea I had was a loopy meander, but in between every so often put a mitten shape.
Oh.
It's not hard to do. It's just this, make a little cuff and then keep your loops going, stick another mitten going this way. That's one thing I'm thinking of.
Wow.
And I'll come up with more ideas. So,
And I suppose if I thought about it enough, you could do Christmas tree shapes in there.
That's
you
true.
could. Trees, you could do it with a crazy 8, an 8-figure-8 design and make it small. There's so many, but the mittens, that's tip number one. I can't talk. Tip number one about quilting, think about that. A nice loopy meander with mittens every so often. I wouldn't do gloves unless you're really talented and want to do all the fingers. Let's just keep it simple. Do a mitten, put a cuff on it, and then do the next loose loops. Don't make them real tight.
Yep. I'm going to see if we've had any Anybody comments? I'm not.
Yeah, I looked at that earlier and couldn't figure out how to.
There's
get-
way to get comments, but
Yeah.
we're not seeing the comments. So
And when I get, well, I don't know if I'll do it tonight, but when I do go back and look, I do read the comments. And if it's something I need to answer, whatever. If you do have questions, it helps if you put the the letter QQ, then it jumps out at us.
we haven't gotten any comments on YouTube.
Okay.
So, but and we can't seem to find it on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, we are quilters. We are not IT people.
Oh, I'm far from it.
And so, unfortunately, you know, I had to leave to run we have a camera for YouTube. We don't have it on the Facebook. So I had to run over there to make sure that the camera was getting what we wanted to get for our YouTube channel and running that live.
I don't see anything on my phone on Facebook, so
Anyway, hopefully this is all working.
And you can comment afterwards too. We don't
Yeah.
have to be live. But if you see the live thing, then you know we're live. When it's gone, that's a repeat. So
And on Facebook, it really helps us in putting It's So Tempting out there is for you to like our posts, and to share them to your own.
mm-hmm.
Spreads the word, helps. For us, it's free advertising. So anyway, I think that is it. We've been on for about 30 minutes.
There we go.
Anyway, join us next week. We will be, what's next week? Is it the stockings? Stockings are next week. So we'll get to learn more about that and something special that Pat came up with. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Well, I'm going to go back around so I can shut off YouTube.
all right.
Dennise will shut off Facebook. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thanks for stopping by.
And